hovered above the body in a magical ceremony and became pregnant with the child Horus. Now I'll interpret all of this for you, folks. Osiris, the black god of the Nile, must be regarded as the personification of an order of learning. For Plutarch identifies him beyond question with the holy doctrine or the mystery tradition, as Thoth personifies the whole sphere of knowledge. And it was through his assistance that Osiris came into being. So Osiris embodies the secret and sacred wisdom reserved for those who were proficient in the ancient rites. It's important to understand that. Unquestionably, Osiris was later confused with other members of that vast pantheon of divinities which developed in the decadent period of Egyptian religious culture, but to the elect he represented to the end primordial knowing, the gift of intellect to man by wisdom, through his agent, Satan. That utter realization of truth, undefiled by intellection, unlimited by any mortal procedure, uncircumscribed by the limitation of thinking. He signified not only that divine at-one-ment with the Absolute, which is the end of all illumination, but by his life, death, and resurrection revealed the means by which mortal consciousness could achieve that end. And Osiris was symbolized also by the sun, which died in the evening, was resurrected the following morning. Thus Osiris becomes a dual symbol, being in the first place the esoteric wisdom itself, or the hidden wisdom, and in the second place the composite order of initiates through whom that tradition was perpetuated. The personality of Osiris thus typifies the institution erected by the ancients to perpetuate the deathless truths of the soul. The living head was crowned with the plumes of wisdom and power. The hands bore the scepters of the three worlds, but the body was bound with the mummy wrappings of the dead, signifying that the soul was trapped in the body, in the material world. Here we find the spirit, the living head, bound incongruously to matter, the mummified body. The soul was imprisoned in the narrow bonds of flesh. One thing is certain. Osiris represented the secret doctrine prior to that time when the omnific word was lost. Osiris is the first of the 5 children of Nut. He therefore corresponds with the first of 5 divine kings of China and the 5 exoterically known Dhyana Buddhas of Lamaism. The 5 children of Nut are the 5 continents which have appeared upon the earth and the 5 races which have populated these continents. Osiris is the primitive revelation of the first race. But as Isis was born upon the 4th day, we find this tradition coming into Egypt through the Atlantean mystery school, of which Isis is the symbol. And remember, Hitler and his generals believed in Atlantis also. They all belong to the same club, folks. And at the highest level of every country, they all belong to the same club, except your ruling family here, which because of the Queen Mother has refused to join. Because of that, we're going to see the monarchy fall. That is what is happening now. From the reign of Osiris, we glean the following philosophical history. There was a time, the Golden Age, when truth and wisdom ruled the earth. And this aristocracy of wisdom was a benevolent despotism, or dictatorship, folks. They try to make it sound good, but a dictator's a dictator. I don't care what you put in front of his name. In which men were led to a nobler state of being by the firm, kindly hand of the enlightened sage. Well, go back and read about ancient Babylon, and you'll find that the king did not have any kind of a kindly hand, but firm it was, often firmly enclosing the handle of the sword, through the use of which heads rolled. This was the divine dynasty of the mythological priest kings who were qualified to govern humanity by virtue not only temporal, but by divine attributes. is a bloodline that has been guarded jealously by these people for centuries. It is the line of those who throughout history have claimed and have been given the divine right to rule. The symbol of this bloodline is called Jacob's pillar, which is the stone under the coronation throne of England. Through his priests, Osiris, representative of the hidden tradition, ruled the entire world by virtue of the perfection resident in that tradition. If we concede that Osiris is the positive pole of the universal life agent, then Isis becomes the receptive pole of that activity, and that is the meaning of the Star of David, the androgynous God, the male and female in one body. For the triangle is the symbol of the male, and the delta is the symbol of the female. And if you look at them with an open mind, they resemble the actual genitals of the two sexes. In other words, folks, Osiris is the doctrine, Isis is the church. You can forget all this earth mother bullshit. As in Christianity, it is customary to refer to the church as the bride of Christ. So in Egypt, the institution of the mysteries was the great mother, the consort of heaven itself. From this interpretation, we gain a deeper insight into the symbolism of the whole Osirian cycle. Isis becomes the temporal order of the priesthood, the accumulative body of initiates. She is personified as the temple. She is the mother of all good, the protectress of all right, and the patron of all improvement. She ensures nobility, inspires virtue, and awakens the nobler passions of the soul. As Diana of Ephesus, she is the multimamia who feeds all creatures from herself, and that is the true meaning of the statue with about 13 breasts. It's not lewd. It's the symbolism that Isis is the multimamia who feeds all creatures from herself. Now, I'm not saying I agree with any of this, just telling you this is what it is. This is the truth. Without the truth, we can never be free. Like the moon, she shines only with the light of her sovereign sun, and that is the meaning of the sun and the moon in so many pictures and paintings that you see. It is the meaning of the crescent moon and the star. It is the meaning on the altar of Catholic churches of the boat of Isis and the disk of Osiris. And you can see this everywhere. The sun and the moon are the symbols of Isis and Osiris, the mysteries. Like the moon, she shines only with the light of her sovereign sun, even as the temple can only be illumined by its indwelling truth. The temple is the body, remember? Can only be illumined by its indwelling truth. Titan is the embodiment of every perversity. This is their belief. He is the negative creation, the Ahriman of Zoroastrianism. He is black magic and sorcery, the Black Brotherhood, also called the Jesuits. Nephthys, his wife, is the institution through which he manifests. He is neither a single evil nor even a sequence of ills, but an infinite diversity of them, indescribably insidious, empowered to infect the fabric of church and state. Typhon lured Osiris into the ark of destruction at the time when the sun enters the house of the scorpion. Hence we know him to be the eternal betrayer, that ageless Judas, who undoes all good things and inevitably presages ruin. And according to the mysteries, Christ represents Osiris and Judas is Typhon in the mystery of the Christian religion. And once again, I'm not saying I believe this, just telling you this is what they believe. And if they hold the power, it will affect us no matter what we believe. Please understand that. He is the power of the physical universe which is constantly seeking to destroy the spiritual values locked within its substances. He strikes in the 8th month. Suppose that a child delivered in the 8th month of the prenatal epoch cannot live because of the curse of Titan. Osiris was born in the 7th month, and that's why the United States Declaration of Independence was signed in July. I'll show you that later.